Okay, so today's lesson is on depreciation, specifically the straight line method. So basically, what is depreciation? Okay, so to illustrate, so for example, let's say the business bought a motor vehicle, right? And it costs 100,000. Okay, 100K. Okay, so what happens is that if let's say we can use this motor vehicle over 5 years, all right? So what happens is that we have to spread out the cost over 5 years. Okay, so each year it's 20,000. Okay, so every year you will record, okay, so called this expense. Okay, let's say we start off with 2021, then 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. So basically what is depreciation, right? Is that we spread out the cost, all right, of your non-current assets over the useful life. Okay, so basically you are spreading it. Okay, so straight line method, you will spread it evenly. So that's why it's known as straight line method. Okay, so basically what is depreciation is that as you use up your non-current assets, all right, the value of your assets will actually go down. Okay, so something like this, as you use it up, right, then you just strike it off. Okay, then it will get, the value will get, the remaining value will get smaller and smaller. Okay, so this is depreciation. So what is the causes of your value, all right, of your non-current assets to get smaller and smaller over the years? Okay, so you can refer to your memory essence for this. Okay, so on page 46, memory essence? Memory essence, no. Okay, definition wise, depreciation is basically allocation of your cost over its estimated useful life. So the question will give you the number of years of useful life, 5 years, 10 years, all right, even 20 years. Okay, so basically it is an expense, all right, so it's debit in nature. Okay. Okay, later we'll look at this thing called accumulated depreciation. So basically that is the total depreciation to date. Okay, so this is a very useful account because it is an account, right, which is a contra asset account. What is contra asset? Contra asset basically means a contrast of your asset. It is a negative asset account. Okay, so you can put negative A here to tell yourself accumulated depreciation is a contra asset account. Okay, it's a negative asset account. Okay. Inside our statement of position, we will always present our NCA at this thing called net book value. So net book value is actually how much you value that particular NCA. So as I told you, as you used up your NCA, the value of your NCA will get smaller and smaller. So how does it get smaller and smaller? It's because you will use your cost, which is always the same, all right, historical cost, okay, and you will minus out your accumulated depreciation, which will get bigger and bigger over the years. All right, so a value that's always the same minus a value that always gets bigger. So your net book value will actually get smaller and smaller over the years. Okay, later we'll look at numbers. Okay, causes of depreciation wise. Okay, so wear and tear. All right. So you know lah, as you use your things, right? Things get torn. Okay. or wear out over time. Okay, computers. If you want to talk about computers, you may use your laptop for, I don't know, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years even, all right? It may not spoil, but usually things like laptop, things like maybe even your phone, it gets outdated after a while, right? So obsolescence, okay, they keep asking you to do updates, right, to your phone and sometimes, or even your laptop, and then it will slow it down because the new programs or whatever, it may take up more space, right? Then your laptop and all that doesn't work anymore. Okay, usage is more, the example here that is given is your coal mine. So you know, right, if you discover coal in a place, over time, right, actually the coal will run out. Okay, so usage, all right, as you you keep mining the mine, your coal, it will just get used up over the years. Okay, uh legal limits here, 60-year leasehold short. Maybe a better example for you will be like a 99-year lease for your HDB. So you all know that HDB, right, after 99 years, it actually doesn't belong to you anymore. Okay, so what happens is that the NCA, right, actually only belongs to you for 99 years. Okay, so basically what happens is that over time, yeah, the usage, okay, it will is in the ownership, all right, will just run out. Okay, all right, enough of theory. So all this, right, this page very important. You basically have to memorize. Okay, the definitions, causes, and all that. Okay, all right, let's do some numbers. So worksheet 11B.1. Okay, I'll do the first one. Calculate the depreciation for the year ended 2007, 2008, and 2009. So you're going to do it for 3 years. Formula wise, where can you get the formula? You can refer to your memory essence on page 47. For straight line method, there are two formula. All right. So for the first one, for computer, you are given the cost price, you are given the scrap value, right? And you're given the years of useful life. Okay, so what you have to do is to use the second formula instead, which is, so in the box here, you can just write cost minus scrap value over your useful life. Okay, so this is the first formula. Okay, for the second one, okay, maybe we just write down the formula as well. Because the second one, they didn't give you the number of years of useful life. They give you 25%. Actually, do you realize that 25%, right, is just 4 years? Because 25, 25, 25, 25, 100%. Okay, so over 4 years, you will fully depreciate it as well. But if they give you percentage, then you just use the rate, which is a percentage, multiply by the same thing, cost minus scrap value. Please put your brackets. If not, sometimes you may get a negative number. It shouldn't be a negative number, all right? The value of your depreciation should be a positive number. Okay, so you can see this part is the same, cost minus scrap value, cost minus scrap value. So it's either divide by the number of years or multiply by the percentage. Okay. All right, let's do the first one. So for the first year, you have to be careful. If you buy something in the middle of the year, right? Okay, so this one we bought it on 30th June 2007. The year ended is the 31st December 2007. So on your paper, can you just take note down here, right? The usage is only half a year, 30th June 2007 to 31st December 2007 is only for 6 months. All right, so what do you have to do? So you just apply your formula, which is cost price is 2000 minus scrap value 500, divide by 5 years. First year, you have to do prorating, which is times 6 over 12, because you only use it for 6 months. Okay, so I'm just going to cheat a little. Okay, look at my answer. So it's 150. Okay, so for accumulated depreciation, remember what's the definition? It's total depreciation to date. All right, so since this is the first year we are depreciating, the total depreciation to date is just 150. Okay, after that, let's look at net book value. For net book value, the formula that we have is cost minus accumulated depreciation. So for depreciation, right, usually I just write DEP, okay, because it's a very long word. Okay, so cost price is always the same. It's always remains the same, which is $2,000. Accumulated depreciation, of course, is the number in front, which is 150. So your net book value is 1850. Okay. All right, for the second year and third year, it's basically the same. So for the second year, right, if you want to, you can just tell yourself that for the second year, we will be basically using your computer for the entire year. All right, so your formula, instead of having to multiply by 6/12, you you can either just do the entire year depreciation, or you can multiply it by 12/12, which is actually just 1 year. Okay, so maybe to illustrate to you how come this one it's times 1, all right, or times 12/12, which gives you $300 because you use the computer for 1 whole year. Okay, so second year annual depreciation is 300. Accumulated, remember the number keeps going up. Okay, you just keep accumulating this number. So previous year is 150. Now you just add another 300 to make it 450. Can? All right, and then your net book value, basically costs minus accumulated. 1550. Okay. Third year depreciation. Actually, third year, you also use it for 1 whole year, right? Because you start using it from 1st Jan. Okay, you already have the computer, you will keep using it. So for annual depreciation, if you want, you can just basically just copy the previous year, right? It's just 300. Accumulated, remember to keep adding it. So it's 450 plus 300 to get 750. All right. And your net book value, 2000 minus 750, and you will get 1250. Okay. All right. So the clues, right, for these 2 pages is given at the corner here. So the net book value in the third year is given here. All right. So later when you do your motor vehicle, can you try to get this value for the last year for your net book value? Same for the second page. Okay. Do take note to calculate for the first year, you need to do a prorate. All right, so what do I mean by prorate? Basically is to count the number of months that you use this particular item. So for the first computer, we use it for 6 months. Maybe we take a look at motor vehicle and ask ourselves, for the first year, how many months did we use it? Okay, so the question given, actually is quite interesting because it looks the same, but it's not the same. Yeah, sorry, this one is 1, 2. Okay, the first year, right, for motor vehicle, we actually use it from 1st March to 2007 to 31st December 2007. Can you count the number of months? Give you 15 seconds to think through. 9? Wrong. Okay, how come some of you say 9, some of you say 10? All right, because 1st March, do you have to count March? When you have the item already on 1st March, you have to count March. All right, so March is counted. So March, April, da 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 da. So you only exclude January and February. All right, so you only exclude 2 months. So for the first year, right, when you calculate your depreciation, you actually need to multiply it by 10 over 12. All right, so this one is 25% times 90,000 times 10 over 12. Okay, so on and so forth. So I will stop here. You will complete the next 3 tables. And I will go through at 11:15. Yeah, actually you will do it quite quickly once you manage to see the pattern. Okay, about 11:10, 11:15. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, you can go offline. No, you can just put aside your PLD.